Alright, so you've heard about RetroArch and want to get into retro gaming on your phone. Let me walk you through everything step by step in a way that's easy to follow, even if you've never touched an emulator before. RetroArch is like an all-in-one app that brings together a bunch of different emulators under one roof. Instead of downloading separate emulators for each console, you just download RetroArch once and then add the parts you need. It supports everything from SNES to PlayStation, and even PSP. So why use RetroArch instead of standalone emulators? It gives you a unified interface, universal button mapping, save states, fast forwarding, cheat support, achievements, and even options for multiplayer or game streaming. Pretty powerful, right? Now, before you can play anything, you're going to need two things: the game files, called ROMs, and the BIOS files for systems like PlayStation or GBA. Open your preferred file explorer and create a new folder to store everything related to RetroArch. For example, I already made one and named it Retro Games Library. You want to organize your games into folders by system like NES, SNES, GBA, PS1, and etc. Also, create a BIOS folder separately and store all BIOS files there. Here's a handy list of essential BIOS files recommended by Retro Game Core to help you get started. Just a quick heads up, ROMs and BIOS files are copyrighted, so I can't help you in this one. Just a simple Google search will guide you through what's going on. To get started, go ahead and install RetroArch from the Google Play Store. Just search for it, hit download, and open it up once it's installed. This first launch helps RetroArch set up its system folders. If you have a Bluetooth controller like an Xbox, PlayStation, 8-bit Do, or even a generic one, now's the time to pair it. Trust me, playing with a real controller makes a big difference. Make sure it's connected before opening RetroArch so the app recognizes it. Once that's done, let's set up your buttons. Head into the settings, go to Input, then Port 1 Controls, and choose Set All Controls. RetroArch will ask you to press each button one by one, so just follow along. Now, if you don't love the way RetroArch looks by default, you're not alone. You can switch the menu style to something that's a bit more familiar. Go to the settings menu, then user interface, and tap on menu. I personally recommend the XMB layout. It looks like the classic PlayStation menu. Once you've picked it, save your configuration and restart the app so the new look takes effect. You can also clean up the interface by hiding menus you don't use. For that, head to Menu Item Visibility under the User Interface section. You might want to turn off things like Explore, Music, or NetPlay if you're not planning on using them. Next up, let's organize your folders. In Settings, go to Directory and assign the folders where you want your BIOS files to go. For example, point the BIOS directory to that BIOS folder you created earlier. Alright, now we're ready to actually add the emulators, or as RetroArch calls them, cores. RetroArch doesn't come with all the cores preloaded, so you'll need to download them yourself. Head to the Core Downloader section to get the specific cores for the systems you want to play. For example, if you're into Sega Genesis games, look for the Pico Drive core. Just download one at a time to avoid errors. Here are some recommended cores for popular systems based on Retro Game Core's suggestions. Once that's done, update the core info files, assets, controller profiles, cheats, databases, and shaders. Let's move on to hotkeys. These are combo buttons that let you do stuff like fast forward, save, load, rewind, and more. It's super useful while you're actually playing. Go to settings, then input, and finally hotkeys. Choose a main activator button. I usually go with select. Then set up combos like select plus R2 for fast forward, select plus L2 for rewind, select plus R1 to save, and select plus L1 to load. You can even set a hotkey for showing the frame rate or resetting the game. Here are the preferred hotkeys. Now about those extra features that make RetroArch shine. First, let's talk about autosave and autoload. When these are turned on, RetroArch will automatically save your game when you exit and reload that save next time you open the game. To enable this, go to Settings, then Saving, and turn on both autosave state and load state automatically. If you're using a controller, you'll probably want to hide the on-screen touch controls. Go to Settings, On-Screen Display, On-Screen Overlay, and turn on Hide when controller connected. To make launching games easier, you can create playlists within RetroArch. Just go to Import Content, then choose Scan Directory. Point it to your ROM folder, and RetroArch will scan for games and create playlists for each system. For ROMs that use common file types like .bin, manual scan works better. Want to see your frame rate while you're playing? Go to Settings, On-Screen Display, On-Screen Notifications, and enable the option to show frame rate. For better performance, especially on newer phones, you can try changing the video driver to Vulkan. Just go to Settings, Video, and set the driver to Vulkan. If something looks off, you can always switch back to GL. Now let's get into core options. These are specific settings tied to the emulator core you're using. Launch any game, then open the quick menu and tap Options. This is where you'll find stuff like resolution scaling, filters, or enhanced settings based on the system. Let me show you with an example. I'm going to load up Spider-Man Battle for New York on Nintendo DS. RetroArch asks me which core to use, and since I already downloaded Melon DS, I'll pick that one. Once the game's running, I'll head to Quick Menu, then Options, and tweak the screen layout. If you like your new settings, you can save them using one of 3 override options. Core Override applies it to all games using that core. Content Directory Override saves it for every game in the same folder, and Game Override is just for that one game. Alright, let's check out the rewind feature in Sonic 2, a Sega Genesis game. While your game is running, press Select plus X to open the quick menu, go to Rewind Support, and turn it on. From then on, you can rewind anytime by pressing Select plus L2. It's super useful for tough games where one mistake can ruin everything. You can also use save states to take a snapshot of your progress. For me, it's Select plus R1 to save, and Select plus L1 to load. That way you can jump back to any point instantly. Perfect for difficult levels or boss fights. Now honestly, RetroArch has a ton more features, but trying to cover everything in one video would just make it way too long and overwhelming. So for now, we'll wrap things up here. If you want to dive deeper, I definitely recommend checking out the RetroArch Starter Guide by Retro Game Course. It's a fantastic resource and goes into more advanced stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. If you found this guide helpful and want to support the channel, feel free to scan the QR code on screen to make a donation, or just visit the top of my YouTube channel homepage where you'll find the donation link. Your support really helps me keep these videos going, and I appreciate each and every one of you.